I tried a different location to see if it's better.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good time. All right. So I didn't want to interrupt. Were you guys doing something?
No, we were waiting for you.
So sorry. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and present my screen and show you how I've been using Screencastify to communicate with other teachers and also with students.
For all those who are out there, make sure you mute unless you have a question.
Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Yep. Yes, we can.
Right. Nice. Okay, so I'm just going to start from the beginning just for real briefly, and then we'll get more into the meat and potatoes of it. But the way that you're going to get Screencastify is going to, you're going to go to the Chrome Web Store. Someone has an adorable kiddo, but they're kind of over talking me.
He must have walked away.
Can I mute him?
Oh, sorry, y'all. I got it.
Okay. It's all right. Okay, so what I did is I went to the Chrome Web Store, and then I'm going to search up Screencastify, if I can type right. Screencastify. Once you install the extension, it's this guy right here. It's going to pop up in your extension tray. And it's going to look like this. It's a little arrow. When the very first time you set up, it is going to ask you to log in with Google. So make sure you you sign in with your work account. And it's also important for me to note that I am signed in with my Boerne account. So make sure that you're real diligent, that you're not swapping back and forth or trying to add it to your personal account. The reason why you want it to be on your Boerne account is because we are considered in a disaster state. So we have gotten the upgrade so that you can have more features on Screencastify. Also, it saves directly to your Google Drive, and then that's how you can share it straight to your students. So now that I have it added, I'm just going to close it out. This little launch, when I click on it to launch, spinning a little bit. So you have three choices when you record. You can record just your browser tab, which if you're just doing a small little, do I have to be in Chrome for the extension? Yes, it is tied directly to Chrome. The browser tab is just going to be this screen right here, and I don't recommend that one unless you're very specific on that, the account that you're working on. The reason why is if you have a pop-up, like say you're recording, like what I'm doing right now, see how these little screens will pop up? It won't capture that. So I always use the desktop. Or if you're communicating with your class and you're not really trying to show them anything on your computer, you're just trying to either establish a relationship, keep it going, the little check-in to explain, then you can do webcam. And it operates just like anything else. It'll be a straight-up webcam. I'm going to select desktop. On the microphone, if you have an extended webcam, you can attach it and use that instead. But then just adjust your microphone here. If you click on it, so you notice I have a couple hooked up to my computer. So just select the one you want. Then you also have the option of embedding a webcam. So I'm showing you my screen, but in the bottom corner, it'll have my face. So if you're doing elementary, sometimes that's very meaningful for the kids for you to see that. So then I could just click record right here. So let me go to something more jazzy. Let's just go to Boerne ISD. So you're gonna make a screencast to parents or students how they can access more stuff, okay? So here I am, and I'm gonna select the extension. There's a lot going on my computer, so it's a little bit slow. Okay, I do not know why it's not launching. I might be because I'm double doing it. Anyway, I would click here and it would say record. And then just, do you see this down at the bottom? It says that you're sharing your screen. It'll look just like that. And then when you're finished, then you can say stop sharing, and then it automatically will pop up to your Google Drive. So in your Google Drive, I'm going to go to my drive.google.com, and you're going to see a folder that's created for you automatically with Screencastify. And I have it colored, so it's Screencastify. And if I open it, everything is automatically dropped in there. What some teachers, if you guys have been using them, we've had some feedback because of the overload of homeschooling that they're going to have a delay in processing the video, because it does take time. Google wants to search it for inappropriate content. Google also wants to search it for any viruses. So there's a rendering process that happens, and lately we've been hearing complaints of it being about 2 days. So there's a workaround for that. You can save it when you have your video created. Like, I'm going to just open this. So I had this in my Google Drive, but when you complete your video, when you complete your video, it gives you an option to share it with Google or with YouTube. If you share it with YouTube, we're trying to get with technology to open that up so we don't have to approve them. But until then, you can send an email to one of us, either Chelsea, Carrie, or me, or even Jason, and we can approve the video for you.
One of the things that I like to do, Lisa, just jumping in here, is I like to save them, and then I put them up on YouTube. I don't pull them from the drive. That way I can create a YouTube playlist for all of the stuff that's related to content, make a playlist that way.
Exactly.
So that's what I do.
And that is one of the issues that we're having, is when you put it up to YouTube to make the playlist, that they're getting blocked. But just send it to us and we'll approve them, and then you'll be good to go. I really wanted to screencast.
I was able to do it. I just actually recorded your session just there for a second. So I'm not sure. You may actually have to close out your browser or some of the things you have running in the background.
Do you want to try sharing yours, Carrie?
Lovely. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen, and then you share your screen. And while she's setting that up, one thing that I like to do, so that, when you create a video and you have the fumbling of trying to like stop it, you can create up in the settings, you can create keyboard shortcuts. So at any time of the day, if I'm working and I want to make a Screencastify instantly, I have my shortcut set up for a control space. And when I hit control space, because that's a weird combo, I wouldn't do that in any other program. If I hit control space, then it instantly records, and then it instantly stops. So there's no fumbling of going up to the top and, all that stuff. Just a tip.
Okay, so let's see if it is actually because you were presenting or not, because I was able to do that. Again, I have my extension installed here. I just simply click on it, and it asks what I want to. I definitely do not want my webcam going on right now, so I have it turned off, and I'm going to hit record. It's going to give me my countdown, and now I am actually recording my screen. Because I have the advanced features, if you can see down here, I have the annotation tools that I can use to write on my screen as well. And then when I'm done, I can hit stop sharing, and it's done. I'll end my recording.
You stop sharing your screen, Carrie.
I stopped sharing the wrong thing.
See, is it giving you problems now?
No, I just clicked the wrong thing to stop sharing.
Oh.
All right, go back over. Come on. Okay, so now I can hit my stop, and it's going to process it, and it will open up. Here's my video. It's giving me a default name. I also have an editor which I can go in, because I say a lot. My students used to count how many times I say okay. So I can open it in editor and edit some things out of it if I want to do that as well.
Carrie, can you go back to the other tab?
Yep.
While that's rendering. So on the right-hand side, notice that's where you can do all your sharing. So instantly you can say copy shareable link, and that makes it for public. Because initially this drops into your Google Drive and it's just for you. There's no public sharing. So say copy sharing link. Beneath that, you can see that you can put it straight to your classroom. Again, it needs to render first, or your kids are going to get that little message that says it's not available for you. You can publish to YouTube, which Carrie mentioned about doing a playlist. And then you can embed it. I don't think we need to be embedding during our homeschooling efforts. You can also download it. That's what I was recommending to some teachers that had the rendering problem, is download it to your computer and then re-upload it to Google. And then that was helping with that. Do you guys have any questions right now? If we can take a little pause. Something you've tried and struggled, or if you have questions about how to implement this. Dora, you said you've used it before, or no? Oh, you got to unmute real quick. Is she on? There you go.
I answered the questions in the chat for you guys. Yes, you have to be in Chrome. It's a Chrome extension.
Any other questions that you guys may have? I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, Lisa.
Thank you. I was like,
so I haven't used it before, but is the purpose of this then to do, like if I wanted to do a lesson for German, since I can't meet with the kiddos, I would basically just record, and essentially I could even open up like a Google Doc or something and type as if it were my whiteboard, explain the lesson, post the lesson.
Correct. Yes. So you can take them through different tabs. So maybe you have a video you want them to do, and then you walk over, change over to another tab and do multiple different activities in a lesson. You can always open up, even just a Google drawing and annotate on that as well, to be able to give lessons to your students.
So when I've used it, and this might work for some people, is if you have students who have a report to do to you, they can put it together and speak in the corner.
yes,
And do their little report with Screencastify. That's kind of fun for them too, especially elementary school kids.
they want to
So
be YouTubers.
that's how I used it.
Yes, that's awesome. We were just directing for teachers to instruct with Screencastify for now, but no, that's a very creative and engaging way for kids to show feedback and learning. Absolutely. Kids can install it in the same way.
You can also, if you already have a Google Slides presentation or something that you are going to present to your students, you can actually walk through that and annotate over it and make it into a video, as opposed to just them looking at slides. You can actually use your voice to walk them through that presentation.
Which is also good for 504 special ed modifications or accommodations. So Jennifer, for your German, this would be good for them to speak to you. I mean, there's also Flipgrid, but Screencastify is another option. So you can just hear the students speak, and they can hear you as well.
Okay. And the idea would be though, if they speak, well, with Flipgrid or that, then they just post it on their own. I mean, for the most part with the high school students, they record on their own devices and upload. So that's not as much of an issue as it might be for, say, younger kids in that regard.
I agree. Yeah, it's a good way for you to have very clear instructions for your students when you give an assignment. Okay, who else? Who else is looking for a struggle solution? Have you all installed it?
I have a question, sorry.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saving precious internet, so no pictures of me.
That's
You're
all right.
welcome. But I did just a little test this morning, and at that time anyway, it told me that my videos were limited to 5 minutes. Is there a way I can find out if I am showing up in the district version? I am using my district ID to make the connection.
So John, you actually have to, even though you have it, I can email out the code that Screencastify gave me. You click on a link, it verifies your email address, and then you type in a code for redemption. Basically, it looks like you're buying it, but you're redeeming a code for the full price. And this is it gives you the added time that you want to make longer lessons. The other thing is it's not forever use. It is during the time of crisis, so they're going to continue. Right now, they've opened it up to the end of April that you get the advanced features. If this goes on beyond April, that they will extend that. And then eventually when they turn off the code, it'll go back to the 5-minute time frame.
Or you could purchase the premium, which I have done, and it's $26 for the entire year. So it's not very expensive. And it gives you unlimited recordings, and you have more advanced editing features, so you can trim and cut and combine, and you don't have a little watermark. That's another thing.
Okay, yeah, that sounds worthwhile. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so just email me. I'm Carrie Sparkman, for those of you who don't know me. I've got that information. I'll send it out. I'm not blasting that information out because it's just one of those things that they were like, we're monitoring this situation. So email me and I'll get you that information.
I'm trying to see if mine's working.
I got mine to work.
Yeah, my button's not behaving.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn it off. Actually, I'm gonna have you guys look at that too, because I'm gonna think that that's what it is. So if you have an extension, sometimes these act a little wonky. So I'm gonna show my screen again. Make sure you guys know how to do this. All right, so I have my extension here. I have a lot of them open, and sometimes they don't play nice. So if you go to your settings, the three little skinny snowman right there, and you go to more tools, and it lets you turn on and turn off your extensions. So I am going to find him and just turn him off and then turn him back on and see if that works. There he is. So just toggle off. I don't know why I just closed that. Turn him back on, and maybe cross your fingers. But it's also probably Murphy's Law, and I want him to work, and now he's not going to show off for me. Oh, there he goes. All right, so right here where it has, I think it's right here in the settings. Nope, it's the hamburger. So when you go to the hamburger, this is where you can change your, I'm going to go to options, and then you can change and make your little keyboard shortcuts I was telling you about. So and also, if you have a preference, if you don't want it to automatically go straight to Google Drive, then you can change that. Keyboard shortcuts, this is where I did mine. So I went to configure keyboard shortcuts, and then it lets you do actually a lot of your extensions, and mine's down here. So you'll see that I changed this to stop and to start, control space. You do whatever you want to do, but I really recommend that. That way you're not fumbling with the mouse, trying to turn it off, and then ruin the last 3 seconds of your film. So that was under the settings right here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any fancy green screen features. That could be something down the road, but and this is where you either turn your webcam on or off. But anyway, I don't want to keep repeating myself. Did you guys have any other questions? Do you all have it installed?
Yeah, I have it installed, and I feel like it's going to be pretty helpful, and I appreciate you sharing this information.
Sure.
Guys, one thing that I wanted to say just real quick, and I did this with the other one, is we have set up, if you haven't seen it, the Learning at Home site as well. So a lot of this information is available on our Learning at Home site. I put it in my email address, so you can click on it, but you can also get it from the district website. Reach out to us with any questions you have over this time, with whether it's with Screencastify, Google, anything like that. We're here to help you. We can jump on a Google Meet anytime and help you figure out what you need.
Exactly.
Okay. When we're all finished with this, I have one question that's not related to this topic, but still related to our remote activity. So I'll be quiet until there's no more questions about this.
That's awesome. We will definitely stick around. If anybody else wants to hang around, feel free. If not, make sure you reach out if you need anything, and take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hey, John.
Hey there. Hey there.